Team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the AMD Premier League. Before I introduce the game that we are currently at, I'm going to give you my up-to-date word as far as the Orange versus First Vietnam situation is concerned. So as you guys saw, we've had two games played this evening between Orange and First Vietnam. Orange took game 1, First Vietnam took game 2. First Vietnam then had to leave. They were unable to play because it was getting too late and the net cafe that they were at was closing down. So there are currently discussions as to whether or not there will be, whether or not that third and final match will be played. It might be postponed to another day or something like that, but that's the current word at the moment. However, even if First Vietnam do play against Orange again and have that opportunity, there are scheduled matches that are only supposed to have started, an hour ago, and for First Vietnam, it sort of shown that they won't be able to play a full best of 3 starting at that time. So even if they do advance, there's still, I still don't know if they're going to be able to continue moving forward in the competition just due to the scheduling issues, guys. So that's where we sit right now. That's what's happened to the third and final game of First Vietnam versus Orange. Final word as to whether or not Orange will agree to play the third and final game is still coming, but I believe, at least for the purposes of the tournament, Orange have advanced. For the purposes of the fans and for everybody getting all the excitement and all of that, we may still have that third and final game. But yeah, obviously the scheduling issues are going to be a problem for First. But anyway, guys, welcome back to the AMD Premier League second season. I'm Basecap. I'm here in association with Dota Talk, and this is our second best of 3 for the evening. It's a round 1 match between RStars, one of the invited teams to this event, and NetolicSG, one of the qualifying teams. Again, I'm here in association with Dota Talk. It's a pleasure to be here casting for you guys. This is game 1 of this best of 3. Winner advances to continue moving forward in the competition. Loser is going home. There's no loser bracket. The only time where a losing match will end up in effectively a loser bracket will be for the, I think, third, fourth place decider. But again, we'll bring up the brackets after all of these games, guys, and we'll look at where we're headed and all of that, because right now I've got a game in front of us and it's actually progressing pretty quickly. So RStars, they're going to be on the dire side. They're choosing to ban out a Batrider and an OD to start. NetolicSG, they're going to choose to get rid of a Visage and a Darkseer. They're going to snap up a Wisp and a Nyx Assassin, Alchemist and Dragonite. Two absurdly tanky heroes are going to be the selections here from RStars. So Netolic, I feel like they might have already okay, they've already put a very heavy burden on their own shoulders. They have to relocate gank as soon as it's available. They have two pretty bad tri-lane versus tri-lane supports. RStars, however, Alchemist, he's not great in an aggressive tri-lane. I feel like RStars will just be looking to exploit the farming potential of the Alchemist. So NetolicSG, they're going to sit back, they're going to farm up on the Wisp, they're going to get farm on the Nyx Assassin, they're going to jungle. But after that, they have to start ganking, they have to defuse the Alchemist bomb before he starts reaching those critical timings. And especially with both Dragonite and Alchemist, Dragonite, can afford to leech off the AC that Alchemist is inevitably going to buy. And Netolic right now, if Alchemist even reaches level 16 with an AC, then they just don't really have the tools to bring him down. So keeping the pressure on, getting the Alchemist out of his jungle and just flushing him out of the map as much as they can is going to be really important here. They have to take that tier 1 on his safe lane as quickly as they can. They have to take the tier 1 mid as quick as they can, all while preventing the Dragonite from advancing his agenda too much as far as gaining map control and all of that is concerned. And NetolicSG, whoever they grab as that Wisp relocating pair, I don't know if they can necessarily find enough burst damage here. CK already moved from the pool, and he's one of the burstiest partners for the Wisp. And if Netolic pick up someone like a Tiny, then RStars could manipulate their lanes in interesting ways just to try and force out an aggressive tri-lane to go and put pressure on Netolic's tri-lane, because Tiny, Wisp, and Nyx Assassin is not a super fearsome tri-lane. They're all 3 of them very level dependent, not a lot of kill power early on. So Netolic, they're going to choose to ban out a Silencer, and Jakiro, we're going to have Razor and CK as the bans for RStars, and Netolic, the beginnings of some push power with the Nature's Prophet. I love the Nature's Prophet pickup so long as it's run on the offlane. I would actually love to see an offlane Nature's Prophet actively blocking the pull camp from the enemy supports. If Netolic can make sure that the enemy supports have a hard time getting experience in the early game. If they can make sure that that the Rising Star supports have a hard time getting experience in the early game, then they can just death ball through the mid game and try and win before the Alchemist and the Dragon Knight become too relevant. But Rising Stars, they're going to pick up a Chen here, so they're going to add even more push of their own to the arsenal. And the global heal, the Hand of God, is going to make it even more difficult for those relocate ganks to connect. So, Nettalik, they might even have to abandon the relocate plan. Just use the Wisp as pressure. Don't rely on one of the Tiny Wisp, you know, Tiny Wisp, PA Wisp, anything with Wisp pairings that we do typically see, because right now Rising Stars have a pretty firm grip on the late game. Nettalik could try and up the ante, but again, upping the ante comes at the risk of Rising Stars just looking to go aggressive themselves and pushing. And by upping the ante, I mean picking up someone like a Spectre for one of their... So picking up someone like Spectre, a really hard late game carry as their safe lane farmer, and then picking up a semi carry as the mid. So someone like Magnus, somebody who has a huge impact later on in the game. So yeah, that's the situation. Oh, and okay. So sorry guys, just having a quick check-in on chat, see if anybody had any questions about, especially because things are confusing right now and the schedule is kind of off and all the match tickers are still trying to cope with what's going on. And there has been even other substitutions made this evening. So a team called Gizmo Gaming was supposed to be playing, but I believe they dropped out. So the team that they beat to advance out of the qualifier is going to be making it through, and I believe they're now playing, and that's RStars. But so that sort of set everybody into a spin as well on top of all the orange stuff. So I'll do my best to keep you guys posted as to what's going on and keep you guys informed. And I would encourage you guys, if anybody has questions in chat, then figure out a quick way to inform anybody what's going on, because I can't afford to just keep repeating it. So I'm relying on you guys as well to help me out and make sure that everybody is up to speed on the same page. But anyway, Nettalik, they are going to be picking up one of those Wisp pairs. They're going to grab the Phantom Assassin, and Phantom Assassin, do not be deceived, is not going to be a late game threat for Nettalik here. BKB is going to be the prime time for Phantom Assassin. Once that sort of starts to fade, Alchemist is going to start having a basher. Dragon Knight's going to be very tanky. They've got the slow from the Frost Breath. Nettalik need to be strapping the Nikes on, because they have to get things going early and aggressive here. A Phantom Assassin, even with something like a Vlad's build, wouldn't be terrible. An early BKB is going to be very important, and Nettalik really needs to get that aggression going, get it focused, and start to get those towers down early, because right now they don't really have the tools to out-carry Rising Stars. Nature's Prophet, obviously a semi-carry, and Phantom Assassin, you know, pretty strong carry in her own right, but just suffers so much in the late game in getting kited away from her targets. And once that BKB gets down towards about, you know, gets down to the 5-4 second range, then things get really tough for her as Alchemist starts to build his own evasion. You know, Dragon Knight can have an MKB, and that built-in survivability for the Phantom Assassin really falls off. So Rising Stars, they're going to pick up a Rubik here, so nice solid overall support. They get the they get the nice little roaming combo with the Chen. I'm surprised that they didn't actually take Shadow Demon, who they now banned out. Surprising that they banned out the Shadow Demon again. Nettalik, they're really looking for a mid. I believe Rising Stars were actually one of the teams that started running Shadow Demon as a mid, and he's actually pretty potent in the role, but not a lot of teams caught on to that one. Honestly, and just speaking frankly, you know, by myself, I feel that when IceFrog implemented Shadow Demon, he was intended to be a mid, but unfortunately his skill set is just so great as a support that that's sort of where he's ended up at the moment. But we may eventually see IceFrog in a significant balance patch maybe start moving Shadow Demon back towards that mid lane role. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the matter, and I guess kind of irrelevant as far as the game's concerned. Shadow Demon is definitely banned out. Nettalik are going to take that mag, so I thought it was going to be somebody to escalate things a little bit. The Magnus is a very natural pickup with the PA, because you don't need to get a Battle Fury with the PA, and the damage multiplier is great for the crit. So Rising Stars can add a little bit more teamfight on for themselves, grab the Beastmaster. Kind of a greedy lineup here. Looks like it's going to be perhaps an offlane Beastmaster, so Nettalik will be forced to put some attention towards that, as well as trying to slow down the farm of the Alchemist. But anyway guys, welcome back to the AMD Dota Premier League 2nd season. I'm Baseskip, and this is Rising Stars versus Netolik Singapore, Game 1 of a best of 3 set. Over on the side of Rising Stars, we're going to have Sao2G on the Alchemist. It's going to be Super on the Chen, Air on the Dragon Knight, XDG on the Rubik, and we're going to have XTT playing the Beastmaster. Over on the side of Netolic, we're going to have Chibix33 on the Magnus Ninja Boogie. It's going to be on the Phantom Assassin. We've got Mr. Kyo on the Nyx Assassin. We've got Elsmurf on the Wisp, and that's going to leave Brave to play the Nature's Prophet. Looks like he's not going to be heading towards the off lane in the slightest right now. A straight jungle build set up for him. Meanwhile, Rising Stars making this very aggressive early movement down into the Radiant jungle. Will they be able to spot anyone? Both teams looking at one another across the way, and it looks like nothing will end up breaking out, but it's actually Rising Stars making the first aggressive steps into this game. They're going to ward off the
30 seconds to battle.
Okay, so they've doubly warded the pull just to make sure that it's blocked as long as it can be to keep the Wisp under-leveled for quite some time. If Elsmurf does his job right, he should be able to get rid of both wards, but it will be tough, and he won't have a sentry to be able to block off the Ancients for the Beastmasters. So Rising Stars actually striking first here means that they're going to get a bit of an investment out of Netolic. And they are going to try and get rid of the sentry as opposed to waiting for it to trade, unless they saw the Rising Star supports retreating, in which case they would have realized one obs, one sentry used to block the camp, so they only need to wait until 3 minutes to get it unblocked. But even slowing down the early levels for the Wisp a little bit is going to be a big deal. And XTT looks like he's just going to be making his way up towards the jungle right now, thinking that the Ancients are just going to be blocked out. They find the first ward. Is this enough to find the second? I feel like it might It might not quite be in range. I think this is like 850 or 900 range as opposed to 800. So Sentry Ward Vision range nerf has definitely affected the warding situation, guys. Though it seems like most supports have adjusted pretty well. Air going to get a fantastic block on mid. I have criticized this mid lane matchup of DK versus Magnus as being one of the most boring in the entire game, and I think I will stand by my ground. There is definitely some kill power on either side, and there are definitely nuances to the lane, but for the most part, it's just both of them bottle crowing non-stop, and both of them spamming their way to CS. So we'll keep an eye on it, but it shouldn't be too interesting to watch, honestly. Rising Star is going to play it very defensively. They've got XTT just chilling out in the jungle with Super for now. So kind of a slow jungle with the duo with the Beastmaster, but they can get some stacks going on. Beastmaster can help Chen clear them out way faster than he could by himself, so it's still a pretty efficient team. As far as warding is concerned, Rising Star suspecting that there might be a mid lane ward. Just going to throw down a sentry. And again, this is kind of getting a good read on Netolic's Singapore's side, on Netolic's like overall strategy. So they've got the more aggressive lineup. Rising Stars can feel that they have the inevitability as far as the late game is concerned because they have the Free Farm Alchemist. And the Free Farm Alchemist is going to beat the Free Farm PA, even if Ninja Boogie goes for a Midas and is super greedy about his build. But that means that Netolic need to be the ones looking to gank, and the way that Rising Stars have set up their lanes is such that only air is exposed, right? There's supports on top lane. Rising Stars are all milling around in their jungle. They're only about 10 seconds away from each other right now, even without boots. So everybody on this top side of the map is very, very safe. Meanwhile, Air is the one who's under threat. He is the one who might be the first one ganked, the first one put under pressure by the Netolic side. And that can often mean that there might be early aggressive wards. Heading towards mid to try and pick up some kills on the Dragon Knight. Meanwhile, Rave just going to be TPing his way top to try and soak up some experience. And Rising Stars, the interesting thing about taking the Beastmaster here is that they know that Netolic are going to block the Ancients, but they don't even bother trying. They just duo jungle. So that just by doing that, they've forced Netolic to invest a ward that they normally wouldn't have to, just because of a pick. And early wards are very valuable now. So, you know, that first pack of wards is extremely valuable. If you can force the enemy team to use one to block the Ancients when you aren't even using them, then that's sort of a great outcome. And as you can see, this Beastmaster Chen duo jungle isn't actually that slow. And 2 points up in the aura is going to make this first push very quick. Nature's Prophet, not a heck of a lot that he can do to stop it. So this is a very cute strategy from Rising Stars, but I think I have to commend them for it. It's a very greedy strat, but really working out right now. They're going to try and force the Nature's Prophet back, and looks like they'll be fine to do so. Just going to pick up some extra Treant farm along the way. But 4 heroes back behind the tower. Do they have a siege creep backing them up? They don't, but they've got 4 heroes here. So it shouldn't be too bad. Meanwhile, Ninja Boogie, what's the build going to be for him? I like this. I like seeing boots. I don't want to see a Hand of Midas. I don't want to see anything too farmy. It needs to be maybe phase boots, drum, 1 damaging item-ish, and then a BKB, and then look to be active, because Rising Stars are not going to give him the time to farm up. Zatuji is farming fantastically, already 2 points up in the Grieful Screed, and looks like this first tower blast hit might be going his way as well. As the team, no, he's going to lose it to the, no, he's not going to lose it to the Siege Creep. I thought he might, but Zatuji, the experienced carry, not going to miss that one. So tons of gold up for him to start. I'm not going to switch it over to net worth just yet, since the lane... Actually, you know what? I am going to switch it over to net worth at this point, because the only lane where last hits and denies actually matter right now is kind of mid lane, and we'll keep checking in on that as we go on. Right now, Air is definitely winning, 26 for 7 compared to the 21 for 1 on Chivix. But as you can see, both are trading very evenly, both are just spamming their way through the lane. Rising Stars, however, the push is not stopping on top lane, and Netolic now going to be bringing heroes up to try and put an end to it, but it's only a level 3 Nyx Assassin. I mean, they might... No, another tower last hit here for Zatuji. If he wants a Midas, if he wants a fast Battle Fury, that's going to be absolutely no problem for him. Or if he wants the world's fastest Shadow Blade, I think he could also end up going for that one. So Rising Stars, nice little strat, and now they're going to smoke up. This is looking practiced from the Rising Stars side right now. And Netolic just don't quite seem to know how to respond to it. The smoke gank is coming around. They're going to look towards the Nyx Assassin. They're just waiting for him to push up a little bit further. They're going to get the lift, leading perfectly with the Rubik. They're going to throw him back. Acid Spray, stun. First blood drawn by XTT. Even extra gold going the way of Rising Stars. 2 towers and the first blood kill. And Gimme Tournament Items is apparently sated with that, as he will get himself a drop. So congratulations to him. But gold pounds out to 5k the lead for Rising Stars. We've already got some Arcane Boots up for the Beastmaster with that first blood. Chivix threatening the RP, but I mean, Rising Stars taking this game by the throat. Ninja Boogie meanwhile just has himself some treads, farming up well out of the tower, kind of almost keeping pace with the DK, and a little bit behind the Alchemist. But can you blame him when Alchemist is actually as farmed as he is? And wow, Rising Stars! Look at all of these stacks. The creeps have been stacking up camps non-stop. This is super efficient play from them. This is looking so practiced and so precise. We've got Beastmaster stacking camps, we've got XDD stacking camps, the Chen creeps have been stacking camps. Now they're clearing everything out. They're establishing a huge early lead, and the only way that Netolic could have looked to deal with this would have been to be aggressive in the first 6 minutes. And nobody is really aggressive in the first 6 minutes unless you have hyper-aggressive supports. And somebody like a Wisp, the first pick here for Netolic, just can't get the ball rolling. And pardon the pun, but just can't get the ball rolling early enough to put a stop to this aggression.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Rising Stars, I feel like they've now got a big enough cushion that even if mid-game pressure arrives from Netolic, I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's a couple of big fat stacks waiting for the Alchemist. Who's making great progress towards his Battle Fury right now. XTT gonna make his way down. Ancient's now unblocked if he wants to keep on farming those. He's only level 4. Rising Stars have been 5-manning, pretty much 4-manning on top lane for the last 3 or 4 minutes. So they are a little bit behind in terms of experience, but the stacks are going to help them catch up. XTD is already level 5, and Air, he's got the Dragon form ready. They can look to start putting some pressure on the mid lane, and boy are they. They've got the Bassi picked up. This is clinical from Rising Stars. And Netolic, what can they do? They have to take that one team fight where they repel Rising Stars, kill them off, take all of that extra, well, take some extra levels, take some gold off of them, and put Rising Stars on the back foot, because right now the snowball is rolling, and it's going to be difficult to spot. This might be their team fight. They're going to RP out on one. XDD in some trouble. Will be brought down. Right clicks are there. Mr. Kyo going to get right clicked to death. Nuked down as well by the Chen. Ninja Boogie joining the fight. They're looking towards Air, but he's going to be sent back to base in just a second. Long send back, but he will be okay. Rising Stars lose their first hero of the game, but they pick up the tier 1 tower as well. Netolic realizing they do not have time to farm up and do not have time to wait. Rising Stars are putting it to them right now to try and make a lot of space for this Alchemist. And yeah, this is looking really dangerous with how fast this Battle Fury is going to be on the Alchemist. So 2G missing a couple of last hits on the top lane. I complimented him on those tower last hits earlier, but even with the Quelling Blade missing 1 or 2 here or there. But he's already got maxed out Grieful's Greed, so there wasn't even a huge investment from the Alchemist to have this great early game. It was just the rest of the lineup doing all of the setup work for him. He just kind of sits back, relaxes, and just gets CS. And I mean, as far as CS is concerned, going to check in on that one last time. So it is pretty even as far as the mid lane was concerned. That 2G, as you can see, a little bit behind Ninja Boogie because of the non-stop push and missing some CS in that way. But, I mean, it more than pays off for the Alchemist with this net worth lead already. So, we've got a Hand of Midas picked up for the Nature's Prophet, but another hero, the Nature's Prophet, that wanted to do nothing for the first 8 minutes of the game, and RStars just completely denying him the opportunity. So, yeah, RStars just... The one problem becomes they are a little bit behind in terms of experience. So what they need, what could be a problem for them, is if they get wiped out once. If they get wiped out once when they're trying to push down a tier 2 or tier 1, then that's when things get dangerous. But that's exactly when Netolic need to look to exploit that as much as they can, because they won't get too many opportunities with the rate that the Alchemist and the Dragon Knight are farming. Alchemist already clearing out some stacks, pushing out that net worth. I'm actually very interested to see what his gold per minute is. We're talking about a 600 GPM Alchemist before 10 minutes into the game, which is absolutely nuts. RStars now making their way down towards bot, continuing to leverage the DK push. And Netolic, is this the fight? Looks like it might not be, though Chibix is in position. Ninja Boogie just going to keep on farming on mid. He's got his drum up. And Rave, they're going to try and turn this into a push themselves. Somebody should really be carrying a Bassi. This is like, these are the little things that RStars are doing 100% right. They've got an early Bassi up on the Chen. He's already got a Buckler. They've got some creeps. He's only level 4, but it doesn't matter on the whole. And Netolic could really afford to have that Bassi, be it on the Nature's Prophet, be it on the Phantom Assassin. Anybody with a spare inventory slot should really be hanging on to one right now. It makes pushing a little bit more difficult. Roar is threatened, but not used just yet. XCT now comboing it off onto Chibix. He's still alive. Now they get the stun. Onto the Beastmaster. He's in some trouble. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb here as Dragon Knight zooms away into the sunset. Just working his way towards a Shadow Blade right now. So, for RStars, the push has stalled once. But the pings go out, and the Alchemist is quickly becoming very apparent as the big threat this game. RStars do have that plan B waiting for them. And Super just farming up the enemy jungle, being a little bit cute right now. Netolic, very defensive wards from them, but they're going to keep jumping. They're going to get air back behind the tower. They skewer him up. They shockwave him down. And Netolic, this is front foot play from them this time around. 5-manning and looking to equalize that tower discrepancy. Ninja Boogie, can you make it two towers for 2 towers on your safe lane? He's one of the 2 so far. Let's see if the push does continue. XTD walking in, just going to steal the dagger. And that's going to be it. Chibix almost has his Blink Dagger finished, only 600 gold away right now. And they're looking for more pickoffs. RStars, the one downfall of their lineup is that they are playing it 4 hero. And Netolic realizing, well, 5 beats 4, at least for now, until the Alchemist gets huge. So let's just keep on pushing. Let's keep executing the strategy that our lineup was built to execute. So, yeah. Satuji just stacking up. Tread's already there. 2k gold in the bank. If he wants a Shadow Blade, it's going to be there soon. And he can look to start participating. Pretty soon as well. Just getting a lot of farm going for himself. That relocate is now up. This is crucial times for Netolic. They first picked this hero. It has to be useful. I mean, that's the mantra of drafting, right? If you pick something, it has to do something for you in the game. Otherwise, you could have had another hero there that just has a solid stun or something like that. I mean, the threat of the Wisp is definitely there, but RStars, they're 4-manning with the Alchemist up in the jungle, and now they're just going to make their way down towards the bottom lane. It looks like this time around Netolic are making the call to back off, farm a Blink, maybe farm a mech on the Nature's Prophet. Not sure what Rave is going to be going for. Might just be split push items. And Ninja Boogie is now going to be working his way straight towards that BKB. Shadow Blade finished up for the Alk. TP's making their way towards mid, so RStars reluctant to give away reluctant to let Netolic equalize any of the advantages that they've already accrued. Again, tower advantage can sometimes not be real advantage. If Netolic take a big team fight, they can take towers themselves as well. They've got split push as well, so if they make it to the mid game, if they make it to the late game, the Nature's Prophet will eventually take this tier 1 on bot. He will probably take the tier 1, take the tier 2 on, well, take the tier 1 on top and the tier 2 on bottom lane. But RStars, this is looking like it's been timed out to the minute. I mean, they've got the Shadow Blade finished up for the Alchemist. Now they get the Aegis. So ready to just muscle down a couple more towers. Air almost has his Shadow Blade finished. XTD has some Arcane Boots. They've got, I think, a mech almost finished on the Chen. Yeah, he's got the headdress, so he just needs to have... It just needs the recipe now. And Chibix, is he warming up that? Is he warming up his Blink Dagger? Yes, he is. We hear the thumps of the RP, and I think Chibix needs to get a huge RP here. There's a Hand of God. They're going to try and skewer back air. They don't quite get it. Chibix giving away the Blink Dagger there. So revealing the fact that he has one. Rising Stars will now be playing accordingly. The element of surprise completely gone from that. So, I mean, it doesn't look like a big deal because it's kind of fishing for a pick off on the Dragon Knight, but giving away the fact that your Blink Dagger is now finished is definitely a big one, especially since they smoked up to look for that one. As far as the warding situation is concerned right now, Netolic, their battleground is the river. They're waiting for that 5-man Rising Stars push to be able to punish and go for the big RPs and do all that kind of thing. Meanwhile, RStars keep on farming up. They've still got the Aegis for quite some time, and 2.3k gold up on the Alchemist. So, Netolic, unfortunately, we have not seen the power of the Wisp just yet in this game. The Rising Stars draft, again, this execution just seems rehearsed down to the letter. And yeah, we've got some Chen creeps up. We've got the mech almost ready. Chibix keeps on warming up that RP, and we are waiting with bated breath for it. And meanwhile, Rave, what's it going to be for him? Is going to be working his way towards a mech. So Netolic, they're fighting fire with fire, but what they don't have is an Alchemist, which is kind of the problem for them right now, because Zatuji is getting scarily close to those timings of having the AC and level 16, perhaps even before 20. I mean, he's well on track to get that before 25 minutes. So, and once he gets it, especially if he has a BKB on top, which at the rate he's farming isn't too far out of the realms of imagination, he's gonna be a nightmare to bring down. I mean, Netolic, I just don't even know if they're going to have the damage. Ninja Boogie is also working his way towards a BKB. And he's now level 11 as well, so doing pretty well as far as the levels are concerned. We just cannot hope to match the farming pace of the Alchemist, who has rocketed out to 13k net worth. Translating that into GPM, ladies and gentlemen, and okay, I won't make the joke that it's just gentlemen. Yeah, yuck, yuck, yuck. But that is 800 gold per minute on Zatuji. The man is a farming machine right now because his team has been serving him up everything on a silver platter. We got the Chen creeps just scouting off to the side. Rising Stars, looks like this might be the push. They're playing it very cautiously. They've got the Shadow Blades up. It's XTT working his way towards an Aghanim Scepter. And Zatuji is going to spot Rave. He's going to start channeling up a concoction. He's threatening it. He's threatening it. He's threatening it. In comes the tether. Elsmith going to try and save, but no. Alchemist just keeps on chopping. It's going to be 4 hits to bring down Elsmith, and he just doesn't care. Now he's stunned up. He's got the Aegis, but his team is already making their way in. The Hand of God to pop off, and now Rising Stars, 3 from the back. It's XDT making his way in from the front as well. The RP thrown not only onto the Alchemist, can they bring him down a second time? He gets the stun, the roar now used. Zatuji, his team bails him out. There's the mech. He's still alive. And that was the RP. We had the warm-up, we had the Blink Dagger, we had the whole story, but Rising Stars, they bait with the Alchemist, they move in the rest of the heroes, they get the pickoffs. Now gonna head on to the tower. Netolic without the RP available. I mean, without a BKB up on the Phantom Assassin, I just don't know if they can look to defend, and Fortification will pop, but Zatuji almost has his AC finished, and what's flying out right now is just going to be some sentry wards. Super's got the mech. They've got... Here's the thing with Rising Stars lineup right now. It is just... It's a lean, mean, pushing machine, and, I mean, you know, pardon the jokes and all of that, but nothing is wasted in this lineup. Nobody has additional farm that they don't really need, and maybe aside from Alchemist, but I mean, they've got... Chen has boots and a mech, which is exactly what he needs, and level 8. I mean, Beastmaster, level 10, they've got points in the aura, they've got the Hawk the Scout, they've got maxed axes. He's working his way towards an Aghanim Scepter. So, there's no baggage. Everything is working together to create a great pushing strategy, great pushing lineup, and I mean, it's not a cheesy pushing lineup at all either. They've still got that plan B of the Alchemist, and that plan B is already kind of kicking in right now. So Netolic, they're going to try and push mid, but there's the AC. Alchemist almost level 16. They're going to relocate down towards the bottom lane, looking towards XTT. Can they get him? There is a roar thrown out. Ninja Boogie was looking for the tether stun there, but XTT just a little bit too tanky. Already the point booster, already the Ogre Club, and now XDD, what's he got? Just gonna put up some spirits there. Air walks his way on a mid. There are some Centroids waiting to try and punish this one. They're gonna jump straight on top of him. Can they burst in the Dragonite? Looks like they might be able to. He's gonna get the Sem back. They pop the mech. They pop everything. They get the Dragonite back to safety. What a play. XTT walks in the middle of everything, and now a Centaur stop on 3 or on 4. I'm not sure. Zao2G gets the stun out. Still sitting in the acid spray. He's gonna get sprouted up there trying to escape. Elsmurf in some trouble. The Chen does end up dropping. Zao2G keeps on going. Meanwhile, back behind the tower, Ninja Boogie just wanted some kills. And Zao2G now closing the gap. He's looking towards the... Well, was looking towards the Wisp, but apparently no longer. Elsmurf getting maybe a little bit out of his range there. But Rising Stars, I mean, they traded 1 for 1 there, effectively. Great bailout on the Dragonite. They don't end up holding onto their tower. Did they deny it? No. Rave actually managed to grab the last hit there, so nice little pickup for him. Still has that mech, which is really helping out in these fights. And not like I have to commend them on how well they're doing given the situation. Rising Stars, this looks really practiced from them, and Netolic are reacting fantastically. 7.5k is the experience lead, but as you can see, for quite a while the experience was even. This was the disadvantage of 5-manning for Rising Stars, but as soon as they picked up Roshan, as soon as they cleared out all of those stacks, that bounced straight down, and gold is sitting as you would expect, about 14k the advantage. So yeah, Rising Stars just going to keep on going. Chibix keeps on warming up that RP. We are waiting for the 5-man. Let's see if he can get it. Zao2G just pokes his nose into the spirits there. And blink forward. Oh, blink strike forward. Actually, the lift, the RP now going to be used. Chibix, a little bit of panic there. Now going to get roared. He's still being healed. They get the double mech pop over through Elsmurf, but now Zao2G, he gets sprouted up. The buyback from the Magnus, but what can he do here? He's going to jump in. He looks for the skewer, doesn't get it. XDD still just waiting around. And now Netolic forced to try and defend without the RP. Chibix, we had the warm-up, but we just didn't have the follow-through, and now Rising Stars here to stay. No Hand of God available, but they're just going to keep on pushing this. So Tornado forcing everybody back, and what can they do without the RP? They're going to drag Chibix back into some stuns. The Concoction connects as well. The relocate, going to bail him out. Clutch play from the Wisp, but I don't think he's going to be quite so lucky with his own life. I think saying a fond farewell. Maybe just going to keep somebody nearby to be able to tether to. Let's see if Rising Stars drop the stun fast enough. Air is already on the ball, spam clicking with the Dragon Tail. And now Zao2G going to charge up, gets a stun out onto only Ninja Boogie. But they keep on going. And yeah, Rising Stars. Bring down the tier 2. Seems like it was nothing. Well, they've got 2.5 minutes, well 2 minutes exactly, as I say that, till Roshan respawns. Netolic still holding on, but they're now out of things to hide behind. Towers are all gone. They've only got tier 3s left, and we still need that one big RP from Chibix. I mean, as much as I'm hyping this up, it's a really tough situation for Chibix to be in right now. The draft was his. The team, I mean, I can only assume that he's the captain, and getting that RP is the key to actually, moving out of this position that they're in right now. Winning is difficult. Winning a team fight is possible, but it depends on the Magnus. And so, Chibix, if his heart isn't racing a little bit every single time that push comes in from Rising Stars, I have to commend him, because, yeah, I would be floored. Ninja Boogie, he's in some trouble. He's gonna get roared up. He's gonna be bursted down. No hope of escape. And the relocate available for Wisp, but once bitten, twice shy. Mr. Kyo going to be forced to pop the Vendetta defensively, but Rave obliges, walking out of the base. Going to get stunned by the Concoction. Down he goes. Not sure why he was there. Rising Stars going to take this as an opportunity just to head straight onto the racks. The RP is back up, but Netolic missing 2 core members. Buyback from the Nature's Prophet. He's got the Nature's Wrath. It bounces through, but there's still a mech and a Hand of God available, and the Alchemist, I think at this point, is just too tough to bring down. They're going to skewer him back into the tier 4 towers. You can pop off the BKB. Keeps on fighting, gets the stun out onto Mr. Kyo, and just keeps on chopping. He is now out of the ultimate, so a little bit easier to bring down. But there's the mech. The Hand of God still up the sleeve. Rising Stars not risking a damn thing. They're going to take the melee barracks. They don't even want the range. They're just going to back off. Wait until Roshan respawns, and he's just about to drop. So Rising Stars, again, I don't know how they make this. They are making this look effortless, I have to say. Like, they take the racks. Roshan is perfectly just about to respawn. Everybody is moving into position. moving as a team. And I mean, they're not even making that many mistakes, but every single one that they do make, RStars is just smothering them. So Rave is finally going to be able to maybe bring down this tier 1 tower on top. It hasn't taken a lot of damage, and XDD is actually making his way out right now. He has a Perseverance, looks like he's working his way towards a Bloodstone with the point booster, but yeah, what's he going to be able to get here? He's waiting around the corner. Is he waiting for any TPs to make their way in? What did he grab here? Just summon Treants. So going to be able to intercept the wave. What can he do here? Relocate flying in as well. They look towards XDD. They faked him out. Can they bring him down? Ninja Boogie jumps in, gets the crit. Can anybody escape here? Hand of God pops, but just a little bit too late. Netolic now everybody lurking. Chibix, he's got the RP ready. Super, meanwhile, is just farming up in the jungle. And this could be a big opportunity. Elsewhere's going to get roared. He's going to get hit by the breeze fire, but in comes Chibix. He's going to... No! Chibix, why? Oh my god. So Chibix, I thought he was going to perfectly skewer XTT onto the high ground and then leave himself in the low ground, but what ended up happening is he skewered XTT, as you saw, straight over the top, and he ended up on the high ground and had the TP out. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, they're going to be able to bring down Rave and Mr. Kyo. Just going to try the sneaky TP back to base. It looks like he will be successful. But yeah, Alchemist, I don't even want to look at the gold per minute because it's 900. I don't want to look at the graphs because it's 25k the gold lead and 20k the experience in RStars. I think this is, they're moving in to land the killing blow. Netolic, nice moves on the top lane, but looks like the chopper has come to chop off their heads, and unless Chibix can land the 5-man RP of his, even the 5-man RP of his life at this point isn't enough. There's BKBs, there's a mech, there's a Hand of God. Well, Hand of God's on cooldown for now, but the mech point still stands. And this Alchemist is just enormous. What can they do here? Netolic fighting to the bitter end, but Elspeth just gonna be right-click to death immediately. The neck goes down into Ninja Boogie. He's in some trouble. In comes the stuns. There's the roar as well. Mr. Kyo gonna try and escape. The mech pops off, but just not able to do enough. Buyback from the Wisp. Top rack's already gone, and Ninja Boogie gonna tap out. They're gonna call it GG, well played. Again, guys, this is still a best out of 3 set, so Netolic with a chance to come back in game 2, but RStars strutting their stuff in this first game. And yeah, we'll have to see if Netolic can bring it back in game 2 to take us out to a third and final game. Again, guys, this is the AMD Dota 2 Premier League, and this is the playoff portion of our event. This is actually the first round of the playoff portion of the competition. This is the first evening that it's being played on. Still plenty more Dota action coming your way. Again, I've been Basecap. I've been here in association with Dota Talk. If you guys want to support me at all, oh, actually, if you want to leave me any feedback as far as this cast is concerned, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't, then you can leave me an email at basecapdota@gmail.com. If you want to support me, then my Twitter, my Twitch, my Facebook, my YouTube are all under the name of Basecap. If you want to support Dota Talk, the people that have me on here casting, the people who are organizing this event, then make sure to give them a follow here on the stream and check out their website and their Facebook page. Obviously, big thank you to all of you who tuned in, and obviously big thank you to the team. So we're going to be back with game 2 coming up in hopefully just under, I would say, just a couple of minutes, guys. So again, don't go too far. We'll be back soon. Game 2, RStars versus NetolicSG Singapore, coming up next.